Okay.
Meowdy.
Meowdy. Hey,
Meowdy.
Bat Munch. I
Meow.
it's it's my CPU. My CPU decided no.
No. Might get. Maybe you need to re-thermal paste that bad boy.
Yep. Um,
It's fine though.
we are gonna get the lo-fi girl back up and try our best. There we go. Okay. There we go.
Oh yeah, we back.
Okay,
We back.
so gosh, we were talking
Features on Bluesky.
features on
Oh,
Bluesky.
I know we got through the features you expect.
Yeah.
We'll get through features they don't have here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Features that are new to Bluesky though, I'll recap real fast.
Yes.
So they have a thing called feeds, which essentially means other people can make algorithms
Mm-hmm.
and you can follow those. You can have those as feeds on the side.
Got it.
It can be as simple as pull up every post with these keywords to something that's more complex.
Mm-hmm.
I know there is a feed out there that just shows every post you've made a pin on.
Got it.
Because there's no bookmarks currently at Bluesky, you can do this to like get past that.
Oh, that's why people are like putting the pin emoji on
Yep.
things. I see.
Yep. So that's feeds. They're very, very cool. There's some very nice ones. It's one of the best ways to like check out a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Also one of the best ways to get discovered.
I'll show some of the default feeds. We've got like a gardening feed, birds, game development. There's a huge game development community on Bluesky.
Yeah.
Like lots of like groups of people. Almost kind of reminds me of I don't know if you guys remember this. This was like a flash in the pan in terms of like social media, but it was the app called Amino, where you would have like these curated feeds. Lasso, are you too boomer for Amino?
What the hell? There's amino acids. I know.
It was called Amino. It was only around for like 5 years, but oh boy, it was so good.
Was
it
it
was
an
so
app
fun.
only?
No, it also had like a browser. But that's where I did all my game dev stuff. Was Amino actually. Yeah, see, Amino. One person remembers Amino. Anyways, it was sorted by like communities, kind of like subreddits, but it worked more like feeds, like Bluesky. So we got feeds, and then we have lists. Tell me how lists work, please.
Okay, are we on lists or starter packs? These are different
lists first.
Lists. Okay. Lists are, as far as I can tell, just a list of users that you can now click on it and see all their posts.
Got it. So it's for personal use only.
They are shareable.
Okay.
I think they technically are public.
Got it.
A lot of people have made lists of like GFX/commission scammers, or I saw one that's like people who post AI art regularly, and you can use those to filter other stuff. So you can be like, I want to see everything that isn't from this list.
Got it.
Or, I want to see everything in this feed, but don't include these people.
I see. So this is like...
So you can use it both ways. You can share it. If you might just be able to search, I don't know, like GFX/commission bot list, and you'll probably find like 5 or 6 different ones.
So they're a curating tool, like both positive and negative. Like,
yes.
Got it. That's interesting. I haven't made a list. Let's see what happens if I click new. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, list, avatar, list name, description. I'm just gonna go
I've only made
save.
like one list many moons ago, so like I'm trying to remember what the like vibes are.
About. Edit list
You might be able to
detail.
add feeds to it as well.
Pin to home. About. Users add. Okay, I see. I see.
Okay.
Okay, we can delete this. No Okay. So that's how lists work. Now starter packs. Let's talk about starter packs.
Oh my god, starter packs. Starter packs are the golden goose of Bluesky.
I love starter packs. Oh boy.
Man. So yeah, you actually made one. You can explain it. Explain it from your point of view. I would love to know
Okay.
what you feel about it.
So if you've been on Twitter, you remember their like whole group making thing. It's like that. Like on my Twitter, I can show my Twitter really quick. I have one just called VTuber groups. Let me see. How do I've forgotten how to use Twitter. Oh my gosh.
Like I haven't touched Twitter in so long.
Bookmarks. Communities? Yeah.
Yeah.
So communities. So I have one called like Chinese VTubers here that I am a part of, and it just like gives you the feed of them, and then you can also see the list of members. It's really simple, you know. It can be useful for sorting your feed because like if you see my feed, here's like the Chinese VTubers feed. I have a few. I have VTuber groups. I have official Hololive artists, FGO artists. Like, if I am looking for something specific, I can curate my Twitter to. Oh, I should not scroll down on the FGO artists. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Be a little careful there.
Of all things I chose to scroll down on, it should not have been that list.
Yeah.
But
I think that this thing, community, is closer to lists.
So
is what I would say.
Then starter packs, honestly, the nice thing is you can like follow them all at once. And they're really, I don't know, people are really digging it, and it has been the best networking tool for me so far, actually.
Yeah, it's a wonderful tool to, if you're creating one, it's so good for meeting people. It's also good to look through if you want to meet people of like either similar aesthetics. If you're a VTuber, there's one for every type of VTuber out there.
Yeah.
I have 2 cat VTuber ones. There's a limit of 150 people per starter pack, so if you're a cat VTuber, let me know and I'll put you on it.
I would love them to add like a group chat for starter packs. That would be hilarious. But mine is spooky VTubers here, and it just, like, I labeled it bats, vampires, ghosts, and spooky aesthetics. And people just come out of the woodwork. Like, they emerge out of the bushes like, can I join? And it's fantastic because I've already made like several new mutuals on Bluesky just because we bonded over spooky aesthetics. And that is great. I also have one here for my symphony orchestra, so that everyone can follow us all at once. And that has been good. We have a starter pack and a list, so like depending on what people prefer, they can use either. I don't really know the difference still, but you know.
Yeah, it's wild. Izzy also put on a good point there of you can put like a bunch of artists you want to recommend to other people. So if you're like a creator and you expect to get like a decent following, it's a good way to shout out like artists or fellow VTubers you think are cool.
Yeah.
Right? Like you could put like my normal collab partners, name it something ritzy, and now everyone can find all of the people you usually stream with in
Yes.
one like spot and follow them easily.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really good. Um and I feel like just having this kind of like starter pack has created a vibe and a culture that makes you less shy to follow people. Um I'm going to be the first to admit, like, if you look at my Twitter, I'm following 151 people, and then I have 2 point something K followers. Um, and, like, that's because I, like, mostly only follow my friends. I'm afraid to, like, follow more people on Twitter. I'm afraid to follow all the artists I enjoy. I'm afraid to comment on their stuff just because, like, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but there's like a reluctance to use your account for networking on Twitter culturally, because if I post, like, if I commented on like Calliope Mori's stuff all the time, I might be viewed as like a clout chaser who's trying to get buddy with Calliope Mori. And just to avoid all of that, I have basically only lurked on other people's Twitters. I haven't like actively followed and commented on them. Whereas with Bluesky, I feel like that culture has been lessened, if not eliminated, through the use of these kinds of starter packs. Everyone's just following everyone and not worrying about their follower to following ratio. And there's a lot less of a like oh, you're just commenting on so and so's posts because you wanna ride on their coattails kind of thing. I don't know if you feel the same way.
I can actually give some context to that, at least on the Twitter side. So the reason you may feel like that on Twitter, the reason why everyone acts that way on Twitter, is Twitter's algorithm. For one, they want you to follow less people than are following you. You get punished if you are following more people than that are following you.
Huh.
So it's you are punished for following people.
I see.
You get benefits if you comment only on big accounts. If you comment on a bunch of small accounts, but you only comment, then your like algorithm is lessened.
Yeah.
But if you comment on a bunch of like big accounts, then the algorithm likes you more.
Interesting.
Which is why people feel you're clout chasing, because even if you genuinely enjoy their content, you are playing the algorithm there.
Yeah, it's
like,
it's strange. But yeah, I really like the features so far. Another feature I noticed, and I don't know what it's called, is subscribing to like a plugin where it gives you something. So one of the plugins I subscribed to was labels, so that I can have these little things pop up for everyone else who has subscribed to that plugin. So whenever I post, it says artist, designer, VTuber, educator, musician.
Yeah, labelers are like their own thing on Bluesky. I'm not sure how you become one, but it's like a type of account that gets the authority to put labels on other accounts.
Yeah.
I'm honestly not exactly sure how it works, but it's not a plugin. Like, it's officially part of the platform.
It's officially part of the platform.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really cool. And ever since I have been on Bluesky, I just see little things like that happening that makes me feel like, oh, they're gonna keep adding things that Twitter doesn't have. It's going from, I would say last year, Bluesky definitely was a copy of Twitter with less features. And now I feel like Bluesky is finding its footing and trying to put their own spin on things.
Yeah. We can talk about real fast, like what features Bluesky doesn't have.
Okay.
So just to like, I don't know, give context to like what's
Yeah.
still not there. Like it's still being made. So they don't have native GIF support. You
Yep.
cannot upload a GIF.
Okay.
If you want to upload a GIF, you have to turn it into a video that's less than a minute, and then you can upload it.
Mm-hmm.
Which leads to some like compression issues on some GIFs.
I see.
So that's a big one people are waiting for. You can't put notifs on
Mm-hmm.
individual accounts. I know that's a big feature people want from Twitter of like, you know, for instance, Pillow Paper is my like main artist.
Yep.
I put them on notifications so I know like what's their com progress, do they have any cool art they're showing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Because
yeah.
I want to support them. I can't on Bluesky. I would either have to make a list with them and constantly check that list, or I just check their account. Right? I can't have it send me like, "Hey, your artist did a thing,"
I
and
see.
then do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Those are kind of the big ones. Videos are still limited to a minute. Technically, it's 50 megabytes or 50,000 kilobytes. I think it's weird. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It gets really weird, but like roughly a minute is what you get.
Yeah.
Scheduling and drafts. You can schedule and draft through. People are making like third-party plugins, but yeah, it's not native.
The main
I
thing
forget what it's called.
I'm missing right now is
Mhm.
bookmarks. I really, really hope they make like a native bookmark button.
Yeah.
Right now I'm just retweeting everything. And then I just scroll through the things that I've reposted in order to find things. So I would love like bookmarks, but like something that I wish that more platforms did was like a bookmark system, but with categories, so that we can like have a half Pinterest system where you have like different boards to pin it to. Oh my gosh, because Pinterest is like a mess right now. I would love for like them to be like, oh, you can pin this to tutorials, you can pin this to art inspiration, you can pin this, you know, like, oh, please somebody do that.
Let me actually look up stuff. So one interesting thing about Bluesky, because they're open, they actually have a list of all the things that are on the roadmap and everything they're currently working on. It's on their GitHub, so it's a little bit like intimidating for folks that are not used to GitHub.
Yeah,
I get it. It's a funky website. Let me just pull it up.
yeah, do you want to send it to me?
This guy, yeah, let me just pull up the
Yeah, no worries.
the list. And let me set it so like we're looking at on the roadmap right now, just to get you past the scary stuff.
Got it.
So I sent it to you.
Okay.
And I guess I could put it into the Twitch chat real fast.
Yeah, go ahead. I think you're admin, so you can.
Yeah. So you can at any point like go there, and you can see everything they're working on. Right? Like alt text on profile picture and banner. Sure. Block posts, like a lot of it's small features. If you go to the top where there's that little search bar.
Yep.
After all of the things, make sure there's a space and then search like, I don't know, bookmark. And see if there's something there.
Allow editing of posts. I would love to edit posts.
So I don't see bookmarks like on the roadmap. There's another tag you can go to called planned, which is I'm gonna put in the Twitch chat and give it to you too. Planned means they're working on it right now. There's less stuff there. It's more bugs than like
I see.
Other stuff. So it doesn't look like bookmarks are on it. Maybe they're called something different.
Yeah. either way, I feel like for a little bit we're gonna see like, oh, okay, we just need to fix the bugs because we're getting millions of people signing up right now.
But also, just a quick note, if you want a feature, you can go to here and click on new issue. And then if you have a account, you can like request a feature.
I see.
Like make sure you do a search first to make sure it hasn't been requested yet.
Okay.
Or it's not in already.
Yeah.
But like anyone can request a feature, and the devs are pretty good at like being like, yes, we'll do it. No, sorry.
That's pretty amazing.
And stuff like that. So
honestly,
it's one of the neat things, and why you're seeing certain features pop up faster than others is because they're looking at how many people are requesting it and stuff like that.
I see.
And how easy it is to make, right?
Right. But it's really cool to be like, I don't know, it kind of reminds me of like early days of Minecraft of all things. When
Notch, please add.
Yes.
Please add glass, please. I forget what the first things were added. It's been so long.
The first things were added were dogs and skeletons and ooh. Yeah, it's been a while, but
please make maps infinite and not just a little like 5 chunk by 5 chunk thing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh man. Those were the days. Anyways,
Minecraft is good.
It's kind of excited.
It had no features.
Being on the yeah. I'm excited being on the like development side of things, but it's also kind of scary like putting yourself on a not super established platform, right? In fact, that segues into our next question, which is Bluesky a viable Twitter alternative for a professional creator?
Here's my question for you. How big is your Twitter? Because that's the real like thing. If your Twitter's already big, there's very little reason to move over, because Twitter already likes you. You're already big on the algorithm. You're fine. If your Twitter's smaller, as in like not 25K, I don't know what a good number is. Then Bluesky is like a great alternative because of how quickly it's growing. So you're getting in Jim, you were around during like the 2020
VTuber boom. Yes.
It feels like that.
Yes, it does. It feels like a resurgence of creators networking. Specifically, I feel like in 2020, because all the creators were starting from a similar place of I don't know how to do anything, and I just figured out what a VTuber is. Hello, my name is so-and-so, and then another person would be like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing either, and my name is so-and-so. It's kind of like meeting each other on the playground, and you're both in kindergarten.
Albert Einstein and Gargura.
Right? So it's just like, it's a lot easier to meet people and just like be like, oh, we're in this together because we're starting from the same place. Whereas like starting, let's say like in 2023, 2022, we had like a hierarchical structure of people who could talk to other people, and it's like, don't even talk to me if you don't have at least 10K kind of thing, and like don't even ask me for what program I use to make my backgrounds look 3D. Like we had that kind of culture grow. Whereas on Bluesky, I feel like because we're all kind of starting from scratch again right now, we don't have those hierarchical structures in place, and everyone's open to meeting everyone, despite like, oh, I just started on Twitch, or I have been streaming on Twitch for 5 years. Those barriers that have kind of arbitrarily been placed over the years have broken down again on Bluesky, like culturally. Um, Not to get like, okay, this sounds so like influencery. I am so sorry for saying this, but I do feel like a lot of people get intimidated talking to me because of my numbers. Okay, I hate this because I hate saying this because I don't even like create content regularly, and I don't know why 15,000 of you follow me, but people will see my numbers without context of like who I am or what I'm doing, and they will decide to not talk to me or like not interact with me because they find me intimidating. I've been told this quite a bit, and that makes me sad. So it's like nice to be like back in the 100 followers gang with everyone else in the 100 followers mosh pit being like, hey, what's your name?
It's Meowdy. Yeah, I've been like reached out to by several like larger VTubers that I've known since like the beginning. Like I haven't talked to them, but I've known of them since very long ago.
Right.
To like be put on the cat VTuber list.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm just like a little guy, so it's cool to like be able to like chat with these people, at least even for a bit, to just like put them on a list.
Right. One of my like all-time favorite VTubers, which is like Brucey the Shark. They've got like this tiny little like shark chibi, and I've like taken so much inspiration from their streams and like how art streams should go. And like day one of Bluesky, they followed me, and I was just like, oh, okay. Okay.
Sweet. Easy.
Yeah, so it's just like I like breaking down those barriers that we have arbitrarily placed in our heads. They're all in your head. Like I really like the network culture, but like I would say, back to the question, I would say currently I wouldn't call it a Twitter alternative for a professional right now. I think it's a Twitter edition for the professional. I don't think you should, like, if numbers are important to you, I would make a Bluesky now, get on the ground floor, but keep your Twitter around, and use a dual poster. I can link several dual posters. I'm not gonna go through like all of them in this stream, but I have 3 that range from free to $5. $5 one purchase, by the way. Where you can dual post on Twitter using one third party site. So it's just like there's no harm in making a Bluesky as a professional, but I would say there is harm in deleting your Twitter as a professional currently.
Yeah. Quick note on dual posting. I don't know if your dual posting apps like allow you to edit, but like don't put the exact same content on Twitter and Bluesky.
I see.
Bluesky like doesn't have an algorithm in quotes, but it does. It does. Don't let them lie to you. It has like a fake algorithm. But like tags and keywords are important. Alt text is important. Stuff like that. So like on all my posts on Bluesky, I want to get reach, I put like the word VTuber in there or game dev or something like that, and it'll show up on feeds. You can also put links into your posts on Bluesky. You don't have to separate them, so it's better. Versus Twitter, you want to like separate your link from the main post. So
I see.
You can have like the same content, you just have to slightly change it.
I see.
Between the two.
Yeah.
It takes like 5 seconds to change it, is what I'd say.
Yeah. There's definitely also the concern of like as a professional, it's like you're torn, because if I was like put on my professional mindset again, I would currently be like, oh my gosh, I do not want my art fed to Grok, but at the same time, Bluesky isn't a replacement for Twitter, so I'm really wondering what I should do. If I were a professional artist right now in this landscape, what I would do is I would take all my art off of Twitter right now. Then I would put my portfolio somewhere else after feeding it through Glaze. Then I would use my Twitter to encourage people to visit my portfolio or commission me. But I wouldn't like necessarily be putting art that I would feel bad if AI got it on my Twitter anymore. And I think if you used both Twitter and Bluesky to segue people into your portfolio off-site, it might be better for you in the long run. I think we underestimate the power of just having like a portfolio link a lot of the time. I actually prefer when artists have like a portfolio link rather than like having me filter through their media tag on any social media. So I mean, the portfolio builder I use is Kara, but you could even use like Wix site or Card to like show your portfolio on social media without like relying on Twitter or Bluesky as your portfolio itself, right? And I think that's good practice. Suggestion: DeviantArt. Unfortunately, DeviantArt has sold its soul to the AI devil. That's a whole nother like whole other thing. Some of my art on DeviantArt belongs to DeviantArt now. I cannot remove it. Like, I can't remove it. It's just there now. Yeah. On Bluesky, you could create a custom feed that functions like a mini portfolio alongside the main one. Yeah, that's interesting. So as a professional, that's my advice. Don't delete your Twitter yet, is what I would say. You could use like Redact to get rid of your old posts if you're like, I don't remember all the art I've posted. You could use Redact to wipe your Twitter and then like continue with a clean slate with things that you're okay with Grok having. But like if you have like 200,000 followers on Twitter and that's the only way you're getting commissions, Bluesky ain't gonna do it. You're gonna like feel devastated with the amount of people you lost in the transfer. So I wouldn't recommend like doing a full exodus, but please get on the ground floor of Bluesky. You never know what's gonna happen. And I know it's annoying to post on both places, but right now is a tumultuous time, and I recommend like getting over that little annoying adjustment period for the benefit of your business. Do you have anything else to add about like professional mindset here?
Yes, if you are a person seeking to be a professional or like a beginning professional, and you have a low follower count, I would say focusing your energy in Bluesky is probably going to lead to quicker growth right now than on Twitter. Twitter just always has that chance because it's very algorithmically run of like when your post just like pops off.
Yeah.
And reaches, 100,000 people. But if you want to do like replies and like trying to build connections, I think Bluesky is a better avenue for that, just because the way it displays posts and stuff rewards that type of behavior.
Yeah, and I would say that right now Bluesky has a lot of people who are supporting and sharing art. I think the attitude there is definitely a celebration of creators right now. So it could be very encouraging to join Bluesky if you're trying to get your numbers up and people are encouraging you, like, hey, what you just drew, I really love that. I think people are less shy about sharing their feelings about art and sharing your art. So I think definitely with a professional with less numbers. Oh my goodness, EG, thank you so much for the raid. Hello, shroommates. Welcome. We are talking about Twitter versus Bluesky. My name is Yam Albat here. I am a friend of EG. And then we have Lasso Catsidy here. So right now we're talking about if Bluesky is a viable alternative for a professional creator or a hobbyist creator. And thank you everyone for the support. So from the like professional creator side, I think making a Bluesky is so important right now. But I wouldn't delete Twitter either.
Yeah. Don't. You can do a lot of things to protect yourself, like glaze and stuff, which we've talked about once again in the previous AI stuff, to protect yourself from the Grok 2 thing on Twitter. But like, don't give up the work you put into your growing your numbers on Twitter, right? Like,
yes,
you did put work. If you have like 100,000 followers, you put work into getting that.
Yeah,
put a lot of work into
and honestly,
don't just throw it away.
I feel like having numbers on one platform doesn't necessarily completely transfer to having numbers on another platform, but what it does give you is credibility. Now, if you're looking for sponsorship, partner deals, I'm just gonna say it, professional collaborations, having credibility on one platform does count for something. So, like, I wouldn't throw that away either. I would start on Bluesky, but throwing away your credibility on Twitter is a bad idea right now. But, like, from a hobbyist perspective, oh my gosh.
I'll just drop Twitter. Is what
just drop Twitter. Just delete it. Burn it with fire. Bluesky is so much more fun as a hobbyist. Like, as someone who has been in the professional grind and then, like, switched to Bluesky, and as a hobbyist, I'm just like, wow, this is so much fun. This is so much fun. I'm having fun. I'm so glad I'm away from the negativity that Twitter's algorithm, like, encourages. I'm glad that I don't have to mute all my friends who have eaten the Twitter bait. Like, some of my friends, I, like, absolutely love them, but they have definitely immersed themselves in Twitter culture, and I will still love them for it, but I can't, like, handle their negativity, so I end up having to mute them, and it's, like, this awkward dance of, like, I want to support them, but at the same time, they're retweeting and participating in the villain of the week thing, and I just can't. Whereas Bluesky, I haven't dealt with any of that yet.
Yeah, I'm sure I've seen a little bit of it, like, spread about. You know, I've seen some call-out posts, more like safety call-out posts, if that makes sense. Like, calling out people where you're like, okay, this person...
Yeah, I've seen, like, scammer alerts, and even that, I'm just like, I don't necessarily want that on my feed, but sure. But I just hope that there's never a moment where it's like completely villain of the week again with documents, Google Docs and everything. I'm sure it's gonna happen, but the fact that Bluesky is so good at curating your feed and gives you so many tools to curate it, I feel like by the time that it gets that culture surrounding it, I won't be able to see any of it because I will have curated my feed so well that I'm just enjoying it. As a hobbyist, I'm enjoying Bluesky in a way that I haven't enjoyed social media since 2020. I'm gonna say that. Like, honestly, I did not enjoy social media, like the Twitter social media, for a long time. I considered it a chore to post. I overthought every post in a way that I'm just like, okay, I need to be careful because I don't want to get canceled. So I'm going to be careful with what I say, who I interact with. And on Bluesky, I'm just like, I'm a hobbyist, so I can retweet everyone's stuff. I can just, like, comment on posts I want to comment on and be silly and not worry about how my, like, feed looks to other people. And it's been so freeing. Man. If I get canceled on Bluesky one day, that's okay with me. I'll just leave.
I know it's not on here, but when do you want to talk about like little tips and tricks, specifically for like Bluesky posting? Like how do you get reach on Bluesky? How do you grow on Bluesky?
We can talk about that now. Like, why not?
Okay. I just wanted to make sure we could get to it.
Yeah.
I've been doing some experiments. I've been checking out stuff.
Heck yeah.
Doing too much work. So, Ian, can you do me a favor and go to your Bluesky?
My Bluesky. Yeah, here it is.
Bluesky.
Wow, I'm actually, one away from 500, guys.
Hide that for a second if you can.
Hide what?
Hide your Blue Sky for a second. I'm gonna ask you to click some buttons, and I just
yeah.
Your email might show up.
It is hidden.
Is it hidden? All right.
Yes.
So go to following feed preferences.
Settings.
It just shows your email at the top, so I didn't want to.
Oh, it's my VTuber.
Okay.
Email.
But just in case. Yeah, if you just go to following feed preferences.
Ooh. Change handle, app passwords, external media, chat settings, my save feed, thread preferences,
it's under
following
basic
feed preferences. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can show that.
Here we go.
So here's the thing to know what people see on feeds. I think you have yours set to the default.
Yeah.
Much.
Yes.
So generally everyone will see replies, reposts, and quote posts on your feed. So if you do those, it's all good. Now, something interesting about showing replies. This means the little secret 1 like equals I post a thing posts do very well on this site. At least amongst your followers for getting interactions.
I see.
I've seen a lot of them, but it's because every time you reply to it, it re-ups the posts on people's page.
That's why I've been seeing you so much.
Yeah, because I have 150 now on the one I made to experiment with it.
I love it.
I tried to do something special and it is biting me in the ass. Sorry, lack of better words. Most people do I'll name a game I like, or there's the VTuber Get to Know Me's. It has 30 questions, so you do 1 per like. I did a 1 like equals one of my stream or content ideas. Which includes everything from Buff Cat giving the news to the games I've made, and God, I'm at 60 ideas now, and I'm stretching. We're starting to stretch.
So you would say, to sum it up, the way to increase your engagement on Bluesky currently would be to have a post that can be continually interacted with.
Yes. Either by you or by other people. So like questions are really good. Now if you look at the 3 things, this also means like basically your post probably won't spread after its initial post except through these 3 things.
I see.
So you want posts that generate replies, reposts, and quote posts.
Got it.
Also, there's a culture on Bluesky now of like repost your own stuff as much as you want. You want to do it every hour? Go for it. Like that's fine. No one's gonna yell at you for it.
That's true.
This is very important for artists. So if you post at one time of the day, you can repost again and again multiple times through the day. So your stuff gets seen by different groups.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid to do that. But yeah, so likes don't really increase your engagement, but like replying to things do.
I see. That makes sense.
So if you make like really cool art that's just liked a lot but not reposted, it won't get as much reach.
Interesting.
So draw Miku is what I'm trying. Just send me Mikus personally, and I'll repost them. Is what I'm really trying to say.
I got it. I haven't even posted my Miku, my snow Miku, anywhere yet. I still need to glaze it. And that's the thing, like, as a hobbyist artist, I'm so lazy. I don't want to have to glaze my things. It takes, like, 2 hours. I hope the tech gets better. Or my computer gets better.
Yeah. Let me try to think of the quick other things. Keywords. Use keywords and hashtags.
So,
like I said earlier with my feed, it looks for words like VTuber and...
Yeah, let's visit.
Live2D.
Let's visit Lassos.
I should have a safe for work VTuber. Hopefully it's back up.
Yeah, it is.
All right, good. That one uses a separate thing that I haven't updated in a while.
So let's use Lassos Bluesky as a... Oh my gosh, you're popping off, my dude.
I'm popping off. Yeah, no. Well, I've been addicted to the site for the last week. So
oh my gosh, it's so much fun. I'm having fun with social media, and I thought that would never happen again. I am a big, like, I watch YouTube videos and then I don't comment kind of person. That is like my social media use. So the fact that I'm like on Bluesky and commenting on other people's things and retweeting it, I need to stop saying retweeting. I need to say reposting.
I will warn you, there is a group of people that I choose to believe are from Tumblr, probably, that use the term skeet and reskeet. It just feels like a very Tumblr phrase is all I'm gonna say. I don't know where it came from. Do not Google it. There is bad things on the internet.
I see.
If you Google it.
Oh no.
Oh no, I know Tumblr's reblogging Serby, but it feels very... I grew up in a household where my younger sibling was like big on Tumblr. It feels like a phrase that would have come out of the same people that use glomping a lot.
I see.
Like, I don't know how to better phrase that. Just...
Oh my goodness. Yep. Well,
which is fine. I find it hilarious. It's very endearing. But yeah, repost at the very least.
So here we have Lasso. Lasso is taking a different approach to creation in general to me. He is a full-time creator, if you guys didn't know. Twitch.tv/LassoCatsidy.
Do it.
Whereas I just create when I feel like it, and it is not my job. And I feel like we can take a look at Lasso's Bluesky really quick if you guys want some ideas. So we've got Lasso. He's got Catboy Cowboy VTuber in his title, probably for the searchability.
The real point of that is that it matches exactly my Twitter handle.
Okay.
There is a browser extension you can use called Sky Follower Bridge.
Sky Follower Bridge.
And what you can do is you can use it on your following page on Twitter, and it'll search for their equivalent Bluesky.
Oh, I see. Yeah, so there's like a Chrome extension and a Firefox. That's nice. That's nice.
So making sure those two match up is important for people following you through that.
Oh, crud. I don't have them matched up. I should.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you use the same like handle, so you're fine. But
okay.
I use a meowdy.live handle. It's
different. Okay.
Yeah.
So your handle or your profile name has to be the same.
Yes.
Got it. Bio. He has the hashtag VTuber in there.
Yep. I do have pronouns in it.
Yep.
I would suggest having that because Bluesky, due to it being kind of initially, especially pre this most recent thing, a like counterculture. There's a lot more queer folk and the like, so having pronouns and stuff is a lot more useful in that like culture, especially. I say they're always useful because we're VTubers,
right?
And you can look at like whatever you want. So like, please give me your pronouns,
right?
But like, especially in like more LGBTQ spaces, like that's very helpful in showing like who you are.
But yeah, the fact that I have hair shorter than Lasso, you know, VTubers, it gets I mean,
Lasso has shorter hair than Flesh Lasso does. So it's fine.
I have shorter hair than you, so
the dichotomy,
right? True. And then he's got like his little phrase. He says this when he introduces himself, but then he has got these game designer and maker, VR chat maker. Again, I think this is probably for searchability, right?
It's keywords. Yep.
Keywords.
I think I might want to add game designer and game dev.
Game dev is probably a big one. Yeah.
Because game dev is a big hashtag on Bluesky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he's got his stream link. I put my card here on mine. Do you recommend like having
I put whatever link you want people to click on.
Okay.
That's what I would say. You are not punished for putting links in, so put a link in there.
Okay. And then of course he's got his credits, which if you have like artists in general, even if you're not a VTuber, you should always credit your artists. Then he's got a pinned post. This is really helpful. I really want everyone to have a pinned post so I know who you are. Oh no. I've clicked. Oh, okay. I just clicked back on my mouse. Got his reference sheet. Always nice. And then his furry reference sheet, you know. And then he's got
like you're just gonna skip over the furry reference. It's fine.
Like, you know what? As a fan of Sly Cooper, I like it too, okay?
Yeah, no, I'm actually, this is not like the best design for a pin post. I'm just waiting on my 2.0 model and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm lazy.
Yeah. Then you've got your intro. And why people should follow you. I think this is really important for like a professional-minded creator. When you're introducing yourself on any platform, I recommend like giving a blurb of why people should follow you, what they should expect from you creative-wise. I see a lot of VTubers and like streamers in general. They'll be like, hey, I'm a pink succubus VTuber and I stream on Twitch. And that doesn't help me decide whether I want to follow you or not, or it doesn't spark a conversation of like what I could approach you for.
Yeah, please try to be descriptive there. Like, don't use the word variety streamer. I don't know what that means anymore. But like, if you just say like, yeah, I do like not safe for work ASMR.
Yep.
Sweet, I know now exactly what you're doing.
Right. Or if you do a variety of things, list a few. Say a variety streamer who specifically loves Final Fantasy. Like, that's okay. It's okay to be a variety streamer because you don't want to, like, commit to one niche. But try and give us something, right? So I would recommend that for your Bluesky setup. Hashtag, link, and then a pinned intro post with information about why people should follow you. It's your free ad space right there.
Feel free on that intro post to like put a link. Use hashtags again in that intro post. I don't use it on mine. I think I made this pre-hashtags, maybe even.
Yeah.
It's been a while. And like make sure you like use keywords, and then little more secret. Use alt text on your images and include keywords in your descriptions of your image.
So here's the alt text.
Yeah,
just
I think
for
I did a lazy
an
one.
example. Yeah, VTuber, ref sheet, human form, and then a description of the character. Yeah,
I need to once again update that. But yeah, so a lot of feeds will not just look through the post, but also look through the alt text.
Yeah,
to put stuff in.
So alt text.
I know some of my feeds do.
Alt text. I did a little research before this. Alt text is a twofold system. It is for accessibility purposes. As someone who's used like a page reader ever since I was in school, just because it actually really helps me get information in my brain, I appreciate alt text, because what happens when you highlight a page and you use a text-to-speech reader is it'll also read the alt text. So for visually impaired or people with processing disorders, it is really, really helpful. But it's not just an accessibility tool, it's also a algorithm and discoverability tool, because I'm sorry, I'm gonna use like the wrong words here, so you can correct me, Mr. Techman, but basically the algorithm isn't able to like look at what your picture actually is, but it can read the alt text. So you can describe, let's say you drew a puppy and it's a cute puppy, so you put in the alt text, this is a drawing of a cute puppy taking a nap. So when people put puppy drawing in the search bar, you pop up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a great, it's very useful on both fronts. I know it is a lot of work. Sometimes my alt texts are longer than my actual post.
Yeah.
So it is a lot of work, which is why I understand like not feeling as inclined to do it if it's just for like visually impaired folk. I understand like it doesn't benefit you, so your brain doesn't latch onto that. Like please do stuff to benefit people.
Yeah.
That's better. But I understand like if your brain doesn't latch onto that, but knowing also like this thing does benefit you by doing so.
And like sometimes I forget though. Like I've forgotten several times at this point, and I hope that we can be cool about people forgetting alt text on pictures.
Yeah, there is a setting, I forget where it is. But there's a setting that says like, hey, don't let me post if I have a picture that doesn't have alt text.
Really? Hold on.
Yes. It's settings and then basics and then accessibility.
Settings. Basics. Accessibility. Okay, so require alt text before posting. Okay. Thank you.
I have that turned on.
Now I'll remember.
I'll be honest, sometimes I'm not the best about like doing great descriptions, but it at least forces me to be like, here's the basic of what it is, and here's the vibe that I'm trying to get through it.
Yeah. And honestly,
actually like listing out intent is, from what I hear, like the most useful thing of like, this is supposed to be, like a celebration type post with a bunch of balloons and stuff.
Yeah. And like when I was doing a lot of research using TTS Reader, most of the alt text, like professionally done, will be very short and precise, but it'll tell you this is an image of the Grand Canyon, and like leave it at that, so that when you're listening to the article, you know that there was a picture of the Grand Canyon there. It doesn't need to be like a novel to be functional. Yeah,
just be careful when you're making pictures of text. Oh, because writing out all the text. Oh no.
Oh no. Yeah.
Oh no.
Let's see. Let's go back to our questions before we get back on our...
That's fine.
Let's see. Is there an easy way to post on Twitter and Bluesky at the same time? I kind of answered this. So, Lasso brought up the point that the posts require different things in order to be successful on both platforms, but there are programs that allow you to dual post on both platforms. So if you're like trying to be meta about it, it'll be less easy to post on both platforms. But if you don't really care about being like successful, like meta, you just want to give your followers who are on Twitter and Bluesky the same experience, there are 3 that I know of, and I will link them down on the VOD. So like live viewers, you can check back on the VOD. I will also put them in my Discord. I don't use them just because I stopped posting on Twitter, but I've heard from professional people that they work, they function really well, like, and they get to see the engagement on both Twitter and Bluesky from one place, which can also be really helpful for professionals. And then the last one we want to talk about is less technical and more vibes. What has been your general experience on each platform?
Oh, on each platform?
Each platform. I know I said on the platform, but I meant both.
All right, I'll go first, and then you can like finish it because we have very different experiences. So Twitter, I'll say I started in 2021, or was it 2022? 2021. It's been 3 years. I've been
2021, because you started a year after me.
Yeah. So VTuber Land was already kind of like established. There was still like some level of networking, and I was able to meet a lot of people that I still like talk to this day. But that like ability to do so, I think over the last like year and a half, I don't think I've met anyone new through Twitter, to be honest with you.
Oof.
Maybe 2 years.
Wow.
Like it's been bad. It's been real bad. So I saw like a very like high engagement into, even if I was doing the same thing, a very slow decline into like my posts not being seen, not being able to like, if I chat with someone through a comment, like getting less through it. To where like one point I did like give up on Twitter. It was like a few months after Elon bought it. I was just like, all right, cool, I'm out. We're done.
Mentally checked out. Yeah.
Yeah. Whilst, and so like in general, like my Twitter did pretty well at the beginning. I think I got up to like 1,000 followers pretty fast. Yeah. And it just kind of stayed there. So both as like a professional and as a like social tool, it was very nice at the beginning, and then it fell off.
I see.
While Bluesky, I feel like we're still at that beginning bit, and I have much more information coming in of like how to use that now. Like I'm less, I don't know, cringy. I don't know the right word. I'm just like less trying to copy other people. I have my own pace now that I can work with.
Well, I think some of the benefit, sorry to cut you off, some of the benefit is you started on Bluesky super early. So when people started flooding on Bluesky, you kind of took charge and was like, hey, starter packs, this is a thing. Hey, VTubers, this is how you use Bluesky. And as such because you were already established on Bluesky. A lot of people looked up to you and still do look up to you on, oh, okay, this is how it's going to be here. And I think by you taking charge, you've kind of established yourself as like a VTuber on Bluesky a lot more prominently than on Twitter, because again, like you said, like VTuber land was already pretty established on Twitter when you came. So yeah.
I will say, yeah, and like that's an advantage I've had on Bluesky. Is like I came in like the first 400,000 people, I think, or something like that, like real early. I jumped in real early, started networking, started like establishing myself there. I think I already had the cat starter pack made before this like most recent jump. So like that was already had people on it, and so people were able to join it. So like, yeah, it's been really good for me because I set myself up for that. But I'm gonna really encourage people now, like it's still growing. So like this is still like, we're still not established. So now is a really good time for new folk to get in.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little bit harder than it was for me because I started earlier, but like that's how it's always gonna go. It's better start now than later. Because if you can get yourself established now, get going now, I can basically guarantee you there's gonna be another thing that Twitter does. Everyone's gonna panic over there, and because panic posts do well over there, they're gonna jump over here. And then another like big surge will come, and then you can captivate on that.
Yeah.
So for example, I was about 500 followers, I want to say, a week and a half ago.
Uh-huh.
And now I'm at 1.5k.
Woo!
After this most recent surge.
Nice.
Because I was like moderately established, but then with the surge, I was able to like
Write it.
Jump on it.
Yeah.
And I've met a lot of like really cool people. It's been wonderful like meet people as well. So beyond like the numbers, it's still been very useful. And yeah, there's a bunch of people who post stuff. Banocula is one of the early people. So yeah, it's been interesting. I will say you will do better on Bluesky if you take the like vibes that you learned how to present yourself with on Twitter and then adjust that to Bluesky. Like don't think you're starting fresh. You still have some skills. You're still coming in with something. Just don't copy one for one. Just like be like, cool, this is what I was able to do on Twitter and what did well and how I was presenting myself. How can I accomplish the same thing over here with how things are working there?
Yeah.
So please, like, how to put this? In quotes, big quotes, drama posts don't do well on Bluesky. So like, just
everyone's gonna throw
those behind.
tomatoes at you. Yeah.
just leave them behind.
Yeah.
A lot of people are pressing to keep that out of Bluesky. I'm sure it'll like leak in, but generally it's been a lot more like people trying to introduce themselves, people trying to make connections. So like capitalize on that.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. So I have a different experience.
Like my whole journey.
Yeah.
You have a very different journey.
So
I'd love to hear it.
I started as a different VTuber in 2020 on Twitter. And I rode that VTuber boom of 2020 up to about 1.6 thousand followers on Twitter really early. And then I switched characters and went back down to 600 followers. So I immediately felt like Twitter was very unforgiving and a shallow place. And so I have kind of glommed onto Discord for that reason, because my first year on Twitter just felt hostile. It did. I'm just like...
No, I get that.
So I've always...
I remember when you switched over to Yam and like you were real nervous. Sadly, your nerves were correct.
Yeah. So I have always felt like, because Twitter is my first time I'm putting myself, like, VTubing in general since 2020 is the first time I've actually posted stuff. Beyond just like, this is my art, like on DeviantArt or Tumblr, I would just like put art, put caption, put hashtags. I never like put my person out there, you know? I only put my art out there. So when I decided to like be a VTuber and like try to do Twitter, I automatically like was like worried, because when you put yourself out there as an internet personality, it feels like the response to that is a direct reflection of you as a person. And Twitter amplifies that so much, because it's like, oh man, you do something that people don't like and you see like immediate fallout. So it's a terrifying place to be for me. I have always like undulated, and Lasso has seen this like in my friend Discord. I've always like complained between like, I need to take a break from Twitter, to I need to post regularly on Twitter, to I need to take a break from Twitter. I'm going on a 6-month hiatus, back to, oh my gosh, I need to like promote myself. I go back and forth. I flip-flop between like, oh, okay, I'm only gonna share like when I'm going live and when I upload a video, to like, I should tweet every day so that I do well in the algorithm, so I need to put my shower thoughts out there. But then I'm just like, but people can like take my shower thoughts out of context 5 years from now, and then I'm gonna get canceled. So Twitter and I have like a horrible back and forth relationship.
Say, Twitter is designed that like, it can give you that feel good of like, oh man, I made like the right choice, and bam, suddenly like I'm at the like 5,000 followers, or however, like you can just make giant leaps there.
Yeah.
So
So
it's still a useful tool for that too, but like,
I will say that,
as Ian said, it comes with the drawback.
I will say that like, I was at 600 followers for like a while. After I switched to Yam, people like, my account generally didn't do well, and I think part of it was because I didn't make a new account. I kept my Lorelei account, and like the algorithm realized that I lost over half my followers. So I think I was like, quote unquote, suppressed for a while, until I caught my stride doing hashtag VTuber tips. I would post like weekly a VTuber tip of like live 2D, or just regular tutorials on Twitter. And then that's when I started gaining traction again. Was making unique content for Twitter specifically. So I was like, oh, okay, I figured out how to use Twitter finally. I think that was 3 years in. I think it was only this year that I made, like, maybe the tail end of last year to this year.
Yeah.
So
it's funky up there.
Then I jumped to 2K-ish, like 2.2. Yeah. But I was stuck under 1,000 for a while. And I was just like, oh, well, I'm just like not good at Twitter, until I found the thing that I was quote unquote good at. And other than that, like anxiety and like not knowing how to use Twitter for the majority of my time, I have used Twitter for professional communication. As someone who has worked for agencies, has handled sponsorship deals and professional collaborations, most of them are done through Twitter. I have been scouted for agencies through Twitter. I have done like professional watch-alongs, and those have been all Twitter communication. And then I've also like had sponsorship opportunities coming through Twitter DMs. And that is the main reason why I'm not deleting my Twitter as much as I would love to. It's just like, it's how the VTuber professional sphere has decided to communicate with others. Because I think in this sphere, email does not get checked. So agencies have found it much more effective to send DMs to VTubers they want to work with. And for that reason, that is why I don't recommend deleting your Twitter if you are interested in going professional in the VTuber or streamer industry, just because for some reason that is how, like, the industry has decided this is how we communicate.
Man, it's wild to me.
I know, right? So it's tough, because I have always hated Twitter early on. Like, I immediately learned how unforgiving it was, because when I switched characters, it was like, oh, okay, goodbye everything. And it took me years to figure out what even worked in the algorithm. Whereas, on Bluesky, I'll go to my Bluesky. On Bluesky, I have, like, mentally decided to not worry about what I post, and I'm just posting and reposting how I want, because I'm a hobbyist now. And I'm not gonna say like, oh my gosh, I'm so popular, but it's just kind of naturally progressed. And I wouldn't say that like, oh, the 500 followers I have on Bluesky are necessarily my Twitter followers, because I would say only like a fourth of the people following me now follow me on anything else. The other 75% are new people discovering me. And it's simply just because I'm like, oh, I'm starting a starter pack. Oh, here's my VTuber character. Oh, like, I'm going live with this. Like, even this stream here is like part of the reason why people are following me. But you see, I'm like just reposting art. I'm just like complimenting artists, and this is a dad joke I reposted. Like, I'm not doing any kind of meta. But people are just, like, naturally following me and finding me and being like, wow, I think your VTuber is cool. And that's, like, what I wish Twitter was. That's what I thought Twitter would be. And that's not the experience I had on Twitter. That's the experience I had on Bluesky. Wow, I rambled.
No, you're good. No, I get it. The experience in social media, it's very like personal, because these things are leached into our lives like at such a like integral level.
Yeah.
Since 2008, I don't know whenever like Facebook and stuff got big.
I will say that like on Twitter, part of the reason why I have to keep taking breaks is you guys see on the home feed, you've got this following tab. Now I have a plugin that blocks the like discovery tab. That's the default on Twitter. And I had to put that in place because I can't trust myself to not search by discovery and then get sucked into like an anger vortex. And I will say that I think a lot of the people who can't like leave Twitter are unfortunately addicted to the angry feeling that Twitter gives them, whether they're aware of it or not. I think, unfortunately, VTubers making their home Twitter has influenced our community culture as a whole to be naturally skeptical of each other and needing to be angry at someone at all times. So it's just like nice to see a new culture emerge that is discouraging those things that I dislike about the community particularly.
Yeah. And just as like a little word of warning, Bluesky's still a for-profit like company behind it all.
Yep.
They're still gonna like be trying to grow their user base and keep you on the platform. They said early on they didn't want to do advertising. Instead, they wanted to like sell like domains and stuff like that. But by chance, ads will come in and all the stuff that like attaches itself to that.
Yeah, I mean,
But like because it's a beginning culture and the algorithm's like what you choose, we don't know how it'll turn out.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe like hosting something with a lot of accounts and all this, especially like archiving all the videos and GIFs and images and everything, that gets expensive, like the more users you have. So they need to upscale their finances to accommodate for that, right?
Yeah. Currently, they're in I don't know what to call it. There's like seed funding and all this like weird business terms, but basically they're in the point where they can lose money because they're getting money from investors to grow their company.
I see.
Right, their income is from people who want a piece of the company. Once we transition more into like they have to have income from like advertisements or selling a product, then we'll see like that shift over.
Okay. I see. So for now, like the main difference for me is the culture. But that's because I'm not a meta user. I'm not thinking about like engagements and stuff. I'm just like, this is cute. I'm gonna put it on my page. It's like my scrapbook.
Yeah, because so as someone who's like a little bit more engaged in the meta,
right.
Like I'll acknowledge that. I'm trying to use this as a tool to grow my professional self.
And that's encouraged on Bluesky. It's not shamed, which I love.
Like the meta wants you to interact with as many other people as you can. The meta wants you to post stuff with keywords that is easy to search, and the meta wants you to post like it wants you to post content that people want to share.
Right.
Not that people necessarily will just like put a like on and move on, but something they actively want to like spread. If that makes sense.
Yeah. So I feel like how do I put this?
Okay, looks like according to the latest statement, they want to do a subscription-based service at some point.
Oh, yeah. So like Lasso.
Yes.
Do you prefer ad-based models or subscription-based models as a consumer?
Like the option. So how to put this? I pay for Twitch Nitro. I love the fact that I can just pay Twitch $12 a month and not see ads anywhere.
Yeah.
So I like that like kind of dual like okay, like you get your ads and stuff and I can just pay you to not see them.
Yeah.
And I get a few other like bonus features like 60-day VODs, I think, and other stuff. I'm looking at Bluesky's thing right now about them wanting to do a subscription model. So they're saying stuff like higher quality videos, profile customizations. They do not want to uprank accounts simply because they're subscribing though.
That's
good. So it won't have. Well, I guess there's the Discover feed, which is the like Bluesky algorithm. So you won't be upranked there or in people's like following based on it. They said we won't, so not even we don't plan to. So that's a stronger words.
Yeah. See, like I think it's good to have like a free version and a subscription version to things. But like if not enough people are paying for the subscription and they need like more ad revenue to keep things running, I feel like things might just become Twitter too. Do you feel like that's a concern?
So I am currently not worried about it being Twitter too. Like this, anything can happen, right? Jeff Bezos could buy it, and then now we have the Bezos versus the Elon platform. but just the underlying culture of the workers is very like open source.
Okay.
And like crowd, like getting stuff from the crowd and the users,
Yeah.
which so I have like training in a STEM field, very tangentially related to comp-sci. That type of people want to have a more like free, open, less like hate driven or engagement bait driven culture. So they'll probably work to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever watched 80s Tron.
Yes, I have.
This is gonna be a weird thing.
No,
but, like,
I have.
You know how all those guys talk about like there's a bit of you in the code.
Yeah,
and stuff like that?
yeah.
That's usually what like open source devs kind of talk like.
I see.
So like that's the vibes. It's people who want to code to make like stuff for people and like nice things versus making the most number algorithmically best thing.
Yeah. I feel like if there's like two different directions they could go. They could go I'm not gonna say Mastodon, full Mastodon. But they could go the tech bro way, where it's harder for the layperson to use, but it's got more like features that people who are deep in web development like. Or they could go the the regular consumer way, where they try and make things as convenient as possible. What do you think about that?
Sorry, I'm just reading through, like, they put out a post, like, I think literally today.
Oh, okay.
So I was just checking it out real fast.
Oh, yeah.
They do talk that, like, they do not use blockchains or cryptocurrencies, so if we're talking about, like, the tech bro side, and they don't want to hyper-financialize the social experience through crypto trading and NFTs.
I see.
So at least, like, that form of tech bro, they're trying to stay away from. One of their phrases is technology should serve the user, not the reverse. So that's the very...
Yeah.
They want it to be user-friendly at the end of the day.
Yeah. Do you think, like, something can be open source and, like, all these fancy tech things with the feeds and the lists and the starter packs and the open API and be user-friendly to, like, even like a grandma on their iPad?
I think it's possible. I think it's more likely what will happen is someone might make a simplified browser version of it. Think of our good friend that you are using right now, OBS. Open broadcast. I think it's open broadcast software.
Yes.
Like it's all open source and stuff. There are things like Streamlab, one of them made like a slightly more user-friendly
Yeah,
version
Streamlabs OBS.
Yeah. They made it like more user, like first user coming in friendly version of it.
Yes.
It's still streaming, so it's complicated, but so that's my guess of if anything happens, it'll be like that, right? Like if it gets too complex, someone will make it like browser plugin or another thing to make it simpler. I don't think it'll get too complex just from like the nature of social media. You want it to be simple and users want it to be simple. Right.
I feel like from a tech granny, I am literally like, I really struggle with tech. From my perspective, I'm just happy.
Lets me hear.
From my perspective, I already am a little overwhelmed with the feeds, the list, and the starter packs. I feel like, why isn't it all one thing? But like, I understand like it's for flexibility purposes, but I can't imagine like sitting down with like a layperson who's going from Facebook to this and be like, okay, so we've got these, you know? So,
Yeah.
I hope that they can marry the two realms, because what they need is a user base, and the user base needs to feel like they can use the app. And currently, like, at least with my brain, I'm just like, this is a little overwhelming, but at least I know how to post.
I would also say you're a bit more of like a super user than most people. If you just came in and you were just like, all right, I'm just gonna search for the people I know and follow them, and then go to my following page. You can do that, and you can just ignore
That's true.
the
That's
rest.
true.
Or you're like, I want to find people who are making games. I'm gonna search game dev, and at the top I can be like, oh, there's top latest people and feeds. Oh, sweet, feeds. Maybe I'll click one of these. It's a bit more than Twitter, but like I feel like from a base user experience, they are trying to keep it like very simple. And I don't know how the app looks. I use the app to like post. I haven't like dived deep into it yet.
So, since we are wrapping up, for the people who are considering moving, not people, for the creators who are considering moving from Twitter to Bluesky, or at least making a Bluesky account, do you have any like just quick tips for those people?
Yeah, do it. Start off by posting a quick like litany. I don't know, just do your like best of Twitter posts. Do a bunch of those. That way you have a backlog, and when people come to your thing, they'll be like, "Oh, it is you," and or new people will be like, "Those are cool things." Sweet. That's why I suggest for anyone new, just like get in there and then post your best of from other social media.
Yeah. And I've seen like the best of posts of like, oh, this is art I made 6 years ago. Absolutely pop off.
It's encouraged to repost as old art as possible. Side note, if you're concerned about AI, still like go back and then glaze it and then put it on, or some other tech. Bluesky is not inherently anti-AI. It's just not pro-AI. It's the best.
Yeah,
it's just
and
neutral.
Honestly, putting anything on any social media platform, I feel like Google Images is still gonna scrape. Yeah. Like, that's in our last episode though. Don't go ahead and we'll watch our AI podcast after this one. Shameless plug. But thank you so much, Lasso, for being here and talking about Bluesky. As someone who's been on Bluesky for almost a year, we all appreciate your like insight as we all kind of
Meowdy.live on Bluesky. Do it.
As we all kind of pile in the what is it called? The emergency escape boat or something.
Yeah. The little escape pod.
Yeah.
Quick note that we might want to get out.
Yep.
There are 2 other alternatives that I would say. Mastodon and Threads.
Yep.
Check them out if you want to. I'd say I think Bluesky is number 1. Threads is probably number 2 because it's backed by Facebook. Mastodon is too confusing even for me to use, so like don't worry about that one.
I've tried to set it up 3 times. I can't do it. But anyways, thank you for talking about Bluesky. Thank you for being the tech man. Thank you for letting me use you for content.
Oh, I love it. I can't do this stuff on my channel. I don't get too bored, so it's great to come over here and be able to chat about it.
Yeah. I don't have a name for this podcast yet, but maybe one day I will edit these videos and we'll have ourselves like 3 episodes already. So subscribe
Lasso
here.
comes on and explains things. The podcast.
want to have other guests. It just happened that my last
Sure.
2 topics were tech related, okay? Okay, but please, guys, follow Lasso. He makes so much content every single week. He's out there making real unique streams, and he's got a really, really funny sense of humor. Very interesting, very different from me. So be warned.
Follow Yam too. If you're here from one of my channels, follow Yam. Yam, you don't have to worry about too many like notifications from them, but when they do come up, like it's always worth watching the Yam stuff.
Aw, thank you.
They make really good educational content. Then they're also a what one might call the better violin, the viola player.
Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for bearing with us with the technical difficulties. We're gonna end on YouTube now, so
bye YouTube.
Bye YouTube. Thank you everyone so much for watching, and as always, take care, Bat Bunch. Okay, now we have Twitch exclusive.
You and me, Twitch.